Last part. It's always good to be taking the last part off of a job, even though the job was interesting and you liked doing it and everything. You know, the last part, something about it. Taking the last part off the machine, being done with the job. Except for deburr, of course, but being done. No problems. Did break one tap. There was a hard spot in one of these castings. Broke the tap, had to drill it out. Got it drilled out, and then I fortunately I had some old taps to kind of chase the thread because I messed up about 3 more taps trying to get that thread cleared out, and it doesn't gauge perfect, but I think it'll function. But there's something hard in that casting, and the tap just wouldn't go through it. All the rest of the holes, let's see, 3 times 50, 75 holes, I mean 150 holes, excuse me, 150 holes. No problem except for one hole. It's kind of weird, but anyway, it's good to have the job done. Man, it's the end of the year, 2018 coming up. In the beginning of this year, I made a little goal for myself to see. I started this year with less than 500 subscribers on this channel, and I thought, you know, if I could just make it to 5,000 by the end of the year, I'd be pretty happy with that. You know, I'm not any like high-powered YouTuber that gets 1 million subscribers in a year, of course. But you know, I thought 5,000. You know, if I could get 5,000 people interested in this, I would be happy with that. And about the beginning of this month, I was still 500 subscribers, around 500 short. I thought, man, I'm not going to make it, you know. But just a little while ago, we topped over 5,000, got like 5,008 subscribers. So I made it for this year. So maybe next year, that was a 10 times increase in subscribers over the year. Maybe we can make it to 50,000 by the end of 2018. We'll see. That would be kind of nice. I don't really do this for subscribers, you know. I want to interest people and show what I know if I can. I'm learning a lot of things I had to learn. I'm learning about video editing, about sound, and I knew a little about photography before I started this, so that was a little easier. But the video editing part and I still haven't got it totally, but I'm trying to improve these videos to make them interesting to watch, and getting there. It's a learning process, you know, like machining's a learning process, and you got to set. I set this little goal at the beginning of the year, you know, 5,000 subscribers, and just barely made it. It's really kind of, you know, kind of satisfying, just like finishing the job, you know, and getting through a whole job, not having anything really major go wrong. You saw in the first video that I did on the series on this casting that we had an issue, but it was kind of a customer-related dimensioning issue, and we had one problem with the reamer, which I corrected with the boring heads. But so might have lost one part in this whole thing due to that, unless the customer buys that problem with the one hole, or we can weld it up. Maybe you know, I don't know. You know, these things happen with machine jobs. Although in the last 5 years or so that I think I've been in this building now for about 5 years, maybe four and a half, 5 years. I can't recall the exact date that I moved in here, but I don't think I've totally scrapped one part that I can remember. I had to pay for the material on that part. There was 16 parts of the segments that got scrapped, but it was not totally my fault. I was following instructions of some other guy here in the shop, and I ran the first fixture load, and it turns out he told me to go ahead and do it, and it turned out it wasn't correct, so it's my fault. They made me pay for the material, but he kind of gave me the go-ahead. He says it's fine, but it's still, you know, I'm running the machine. It's my fault. Who could, you know, can't argue with that. But so can't think of any other part. So that's a pretty good record, I guess. You know, in about 4.5, 5 years time. I can't think of any other ones. You have problems now and then with parts quality issues, but you're able to correct them, or you get them bought by the customer, so they're functional parts. So it's all right. But anyway, thanks for all the subscriptions and new subscribers. Everybody, really, it's awesome. The questions. I want questions. I like to answer questions the best of my ability. If I can help somebody understand something, you know, that just makes my day, really. You know, I want to be able to do that, and made my goal of 5,000 this year, and awesome. You know, I know it doesn't sound like very much maybe to anybody else, but I did set a goal and I made it, and it's important to set goals. You know, you got to get yourself. This video stuff was like pretty much out of my comfort zone for the most part, and I'm working with it. I know that right now I haven't got a handle on white balance. You know, I'm really not focusing on that. I want to focus on the story I'm trying to tell, the information I'm trying to present, and as time goes, I'm gonna work on this video editing and getting the color balance right, the sound, everything, and hopefully by this time next year, if we continue with this, that I can be a lot better at that, you know. But right now I want to focus on the issue of the what you might call the story or the content, and make that useful to people. You know, it's got to be useful, or why bother to do it, type of thing. So that's what I've been focusing on mostly. I don't really like to make videos with fancy transitions and this and that, you know, and all that. I just want to put cuts in there and get the story that I'm trying to get out with this thing, and I think it's getting better. You know, you let me know. You know, don't let me get away with crap. I mean, tell me if you don't like it, type of thing, and I'll understand. You know, it's like not everybody's gonna like what I like, maybe. So let me know, you know, or give me ideas of what you want to know about. You know, I mean, I've been doing this machining a long time, and what seems like something that's simple or I don't even think about might be of interest to you. You know, I don't really know sometimes. It's kind of like, I can remember once when Herco came out with his first Ultimax control, and the places I worked then was ESCO, and we were like the prime contractor for NASA, and we set up this new machine. The guys, you know, that install it, get it all going, and then we get up to the machine and we don't even know how to start a program, you know, because we couldn't figure out how to enter into the right screen or whatever it was to even just start the program. But this Ultimax control is if you've never run one, is a conversational control, and we were there for like half a day messing with this control, and we couldn't even figure it out. You know, it's like you would think they'd make this thing like obvious how to just start a program, editing a program, but to us it was like so foreign. And there happened to be a guy in the shop that had run an older Herco control, and finally saw us. I guess he saw us struggling over there. He was running a Bridgeport mill at that time, and he comes over and said, and we asked him, you know, how do we just start an edit? And he just pushes these few buttons and bam, it's there. But it wasn't in the manual. I mean, we read the manual back and forth, and because these people that make that machine and write that manual, they don't realize that such an easy, obvious thing can be such a stumbling block for somebody, and it might be the case with me. You know, I do a lot of things and I go through stuff pretty quickly in some of these videos, and maybe, you know, I'm going over something that you just don't understand, you know, but to me it's so obvious that I just don't, you know, I don't know, you know. So if that's the case, let me know, or ask me the question, or whatever. Please ask me the questions. I love the questions. I read every comment. Sometimes I don't respond to every comment. I mean, I love it when you guys say, "Oh, you're the greatest," and all this and that, and "Oh, you're the," whatever. I don't know, but and that's almost a little embarrassing, but it's I'm not going to respond to comments like that all the time. I might put a little heart on it or something if I really like it. But if somebody asks a question, I'm going to try to respond to that comment if I see it. Sometimes this YouTube comment thing doesn't work correctly. I've got an application on my phone, here, that and it works different than the one on the computer, and sometimes I think I miss comments, or I respond kind of. It takes a while because I don't see it sometimes, and the message thing. I mean, I hadn't been looking at the message side of the thing for quite a while until one day I realized, oh, there's messages and people are sending them to me. They're kind of like private messages, and so I'm still learning this stuff. I'm kind of like, I mean, when I was young, going to high school and everything, my brother was into this computer stuff and everything. This was before the PC even existed. IBM hadn't even come out with the PC when we were going to school, and he had all this stuff in his room, and my brother's like this computer whiz. He knows all this stuff about it, and to me it's like, I didn't really care, but that was before IBM came out with their first PC. Okay, so that was that long ago. I might not look that old, but I am. Believe me, I'm that old. So I'm not like these young kids that just grow up with a computer in their hand. I gotta kind of figure this stuff out still. So anyway, made the goal of 5,000 this year. Thank you, all you new subscribers and all the ones that have stuck with me. And like I said, love the comments. And if this is the first time you've ever seen a video of mine, please subscribe. Although, like I said, I don't do it for ultimate subscriptions, but if people subscribe, I think I can, have a bigger audience that might see what I have to present, if that's of any use to anybody. And that's what I'm here doing it for, to show what I've learned. Well, right now I'm 63 years old, and I've been doing this since before I was 20, so there's that many years experience in there. And believe me, I've never been trained by any school or anybody in particular. I've observed what other people are doing, and I've observed the people that I thought were doing things the correct way, and then I tried myself and learned everything I know by trial and error for the most part. I tried it didn't work. I made it work somehow. And if you don't go out of your comfort zone, you probably won't learn too much. You got to put yourself in a spot where I'm a little uncomfortable. I'm not really sure what I'm doing. Or another way I've noticed I learn a lot is actually showing somebody else what I'm doing or what I know, because I don't really think about it sometimes the way I do things. I guess I don't think about it like in detail. I just do it, and that's it. But if I have to actually show somebody the steps to go through, I'll actually, then I say, oh, I remember it better, and then I maybe can show somebody else, because at the first time you show somebody, it's kind of like doing these YouTube videos, that you can't even think of what to say in front of this camera. You're not used to just looking at the camera and talking. If you're talking to a person, back there behind that camera, it's almost like then you're communicating with something, and I don't know, you get some feedback from a person, maybe, expressions. I don't know what it is, but when you're talking just to a camera, it's very difficult to keep your mind focused on on the subject and you forget things, you know, or you say the wrong things. I've edited many videos. I'm like, what the hell did I say there? You know, it's like, I'm not even, I don't understand it. But anyway, so thanks for all the new subscribers, and thanks for all the awesome comments and questions, and maybe we'll get to 50,000 by the end of 2018. I'm kind of setting that goal if I can make it. So thanks for watching, and subscribe if you haven't, and hit that like button. Apparently that algorithm helps the YouTube thing, whatever that does. So see you on the next video.